Desmond Umbele. Oh yeah, no, I know you're in this group, I guess. But the designer. Did you see how quick she is? Oh, haven't you logged into WhatsApp?
I'm just logging in now.
Have you got
Super quick.
Hey, it is the Lunchtime Movement. Thank you for logging in or signing in or what do they call it?
They're streaming.
For viewing, yeah. I'm with you. Welcome, thank you so much. We're so blessed and honored to have you with us. We are about to go on, so hope you put on your volumes high up so everybody, even your neighbors, can hear us. We've got news, we've got juice, we've got sauce. That's what we do.
Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe.
I'm ready now.
You ready?
Yeah, boy.
Is this the last year?
We also have the luggage ranges and luggage cases. City Hawkers, your one-stop shopping destination. Buying all schools. Purchase your car stationery from us at the lowest prices.
Do you have an interview? Maybe we can just read them.
City Hawkers.
These press releases.
Oh yeah.
109 FM. Welcome to the People's Station.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yes! It is a beautiful Monday afternoon in Polokwane, Limpopo today. Yo, it's hot, hey? I'm so happy that summer is back. It was quite a bit frightening a little bit ago when it felt so cold and we were so confused whether it's summer or it's winter. We were not so sure, but it's great. It's Monday, it's hot, it's happening, and when you're I enjoy a summertime, and I suppose the guys are also enjoying the view. Hey, can't complain, can't complain. It's a good time to be alive in Limpopo. Of course, this is the show that gives you all the news that's happening, all the breaking news as and when it happens, as and when it breaks. This is the point of the Lunchtime Movement. Anything that's making headlines today, this is where you're going to get it, okay? But there's lots more to the show, of course. Today we're going for 3 hours, hey? We're going for our first 3 hours. The show is going to close at 3 o'clock, so don't get panicky when it's 2 o'clock and you start thinking, how am I going to survive until tomorrow without these guys? We've added an hour. We're going to be with you till 3 o'clock, bringing you all the sauce and all the juice. So we've added, of course, more impact to our show. Today we are going to still be having Motivation Monday. He will be with us shortly, speaking to us and motivating us for the week. And then we've got Perspective. In today's Perspective, we are going to be profiling the art museums in the city of Polokwane. So if you are interested, maybe you've got some tourists coming up, December is nearby, and you want to teach them a little bit about your heritage, do make sure that you are tuned in when Perspective is on air, and we are going to be profiling all of the art museums in Polokwane. Then there's a new slot called Know Your Hood. Yeah? Know Your Hood actually doesn't mean your hood. Your hood is the whole entire African continent. So in Know Your Hood, we're going to be profiling Algeria today. I heard the producers going by alphabetical order. So we're going to be listening to all the hot and happy one is only talk radio station.
Welcome to
How are you, Africa?
I get high on my own supply. I'm guessing that's why you're asking me now.
Yeah.
I get high on my own supply, like my own supply. I get high on myself.
And who's been saying that? Who made up that rumor?
I didn't even know there was a rumor. Maybe they need a bigger place, but I don't think they need to close. So who's doing it, guys? Who's doing it?
Well, this is the producer. He's like, I know, music.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. So he was like, I want to check out your work place. I was like, okay.
You think no. At Jimmy's Key.
Woman cheer, so I felt like I was auditioning for 5 seconds there. Hey Desmond.
How are you?
What's up?
Good job.
Did you do the usual this weekend?
What do you mean?
The usual.
No, my weekend. My weekend. It's my weekend one.
What? And how do you know? Do you guys
Malava
know?
always follow me, man.
Because I'm pretty cheap.
Hey.
Hey, man, my weekend
It's
was
not
dull,
just a
you
lunchtime
know.
movement. Hey. It's a weekend movement. Hey. Okay, are we gonna coupe with him?
I don't know.
Are you gonna coupe with us?
I believe we have 4 members.
It needs
My
4.
big
That's why
brother's
we check
on.
out. So if Mpo's not around, then we need.
My big brother is streaming right now.
Hey, bro, what's up? Thank you for joining. Stay till 3 o'clock. It's going to be
3
late.
hours.
It's going to be late.
Okay, we go.
This life thing, that other one. Yes, it is the lunchtime movement, 17 minutes past 12 o'clock. If you've just tuned in, you're right in time because this is where we bring you the breaking news. So Equality Court makes it clear that no racism is acceptable. Velaphi Khumalo asked South Africa to be cleansed of whites, hacked and killed like Hitler did to Jews. That's extreme. ANC member Velaphi Khumalo let rip on Facebook that South Africa needs to be cleansed of whites. He said whites needed to be treated as Hitler treated the Jews. He was responding to an earlier racist comment on social media from Penny Sparrow, who referred to blacks as monkeys. Both, no doubt, have come to rue their remarks. Both recanted, okay? But Judge Roland Sutherland of the Equality Court in Johannesburg was not satisfied with Khumalo's retraction, especially after Khumalo more recently decided it wasn't hate speech after all. On Friday, Sutherland declared that Khumalo's remarks were hate speech and interdicted him for repeating them. He also ordered Khumalo to issue an apology to all South Africans. The matter was first raised in the Roodepoort Magistrate Court, which also has an equality court by the ANC. However, the South African Human Rights Commission, SAHRC, was unaware of this earlier hearing at the lower court of the post and that no reasonable person could construe his remarks as an incitement to violence. He was reprimanded by his employer but didn't lose his job, and the backlash on Facebook was instant and ferocious. The ANC took the matter to court. It is in his complaint to the Roodepoort Equality Court, the ANC argued, "It is common cause that some of our members are white people and hereby duly represented by the ANC in bringing this application. It is further common cause that Hitler subjected Jews to concentration camps, tortured them, and subjected them to painful and most gruesome forms of human rights violations. The respondent is therefore suggesting in his social media post that white people, some of whom are our members, be subjected to the same treatment, that their human rights be violated as Hitler did to the Jews." These utterances by Khumalo had the effect of inciting violence against white people. His case was thin. He said that the settlement reached there had been rubber stamped by the presiding officer and that this case needed judicial intervention. Sutherland said, indeed, given the public interest rationale for the Equality Act, a complaint is always a matter of public importance. Sutherland made scathing remarks about the report case. There is no indication the presiding officer applied his mind to the propriety of the settlement order or indeed to an assessment of the utterances. Given that judicial officers, both magistrates and judges, are required to be certified to sit in the Equality Court after having been trained in the provisions of the Equality Act, this lapse is especially regrettable. Sutherland pointed out that despite his apology, Khumalo later recanted his admission that his utterance constituted hate speech. Again, logically, a recantation that he committed hate speech inescapably implies Google TACIT.
Yes.
Okay, a tacit, okay, I think it's tacit, TACIT, withdrawal of the substantive apology. The husk of an empty apology carries no weight, he wrote. Did you find him?
Yeah.
What is he?
Implied without being stated.
Oh, so inescapably implies that tacit. Tacit means implied without being stated.
Yeah.
So you imply something but you didn't say it. Can the court really judge on something that you implied but you didn't state?
No.
The SAHRC pointed to the vulnerability of whites to violence and mentioned the gratuitous violence inflicted on a white farming family during a robbery. It also pointed out that a sizable proportion of South African Jews are descendants of Holocaust victims and survivors. South Africa is a society exhibiting significant social strains, wrote Sutherland. And we are marked off and categorized by race and personal appearance. A significant interracial tension exists, derived from several circumstances, not least from inequality and the persistence of some degree of interracial hostility. This unhappy and regrettable condition is our historical legacy. The Equity Act prohibits the advocacy of hatred based on race, ethnicity, gender, or religion that constitutes the incitement to cause harm as contemplated in the Constitution and this Act. While free speech is protected in Section 16 of the Constitution, this protection is not absolute. It stops at the point where it causes harm and violates the dignity of others. Yes, I got it. Do you want to say something about that? No, it's very interesting and it is important. It's just unfortunate we only have 6 minutes to get through the next article. I had hoped I could finish that very, very, very long article because I think South Africa really needs to decide from a legal perspective what we choose to do about racism. I hate the fact that we always seem to protect a minority than a majority. It always seems that the minority which is affected by racism is always respected and given so much more protection by the state. And I mean, on a day-to-day basis, the majority suffers racism, guys. And some of them never even get to the headlines, you know? Okay, let me just take this 5 minutes to read ANC-linked church leader on the run from Limpopo police. He has denied that he is on the run, stating that he has just been preoccupied in Cape Town. A warrant of arrest has been issued for an unidentified church leader and member of the ANC's Concerned South Africans group after he failed to hand himself over to police despite promising to do so. This is in connection with sexual assault allegations made against him by one of his former employees for an incident that reportedly happened in June after he allegedly used the promise of a meeting with Faith Mutambi to lure his employee out of her hotel and into the bushes in Thohoyandou, Limpopo. Reports Sunday World. According to the publication, the woman whose identity is being withheld shared details about the work trip that preceded the alleged assault. He arrived in Thohoyandou on Saturday night, July 15, in a meeting on July 16. For a meeting on July 16, the same night the man received a call and told us it was Mutambi on the phone and she had asked to meet with him. He told the two colleagues to stay behind as he was only taking to meet Mutambi. He drove for some time until I realized we were driving into some bushes. I became scared, asked where we were going and asked him to call Mutambi again. He then made a call but the phone was off. I pleaded with him to drive out of the bushes because it was not safe. He said she opened a case 2 weeks later and reported the matter to Lutuli House. She initially opened the case at a Johannesburg police station, where she alleged that the officer tried to discourage her from filing charges, but the matter was referred to Limpopo, as that is where the alleged assault took place. The woman also filed a case at the CCMA after the man allegedly unfairly dismissed her towards the end of July and withheld his salary for that month. When contacted by the publication, Mutambi denied knowing the man in question and requested that he leave her name out of his controversies. The paper contacted him again this week after finding out that the woman had written a letter to President Cyril Ramaphosa asking him for help. Cyril Ramaphosa has become
busy now. He's way too busy.
Like, he's international and he's also local.
Yeah,
at the same
that's
time.
go to jail, like, you know.
Yeah, like when you need him to address a certain issue, you're gonna march the union buildings and address and demand that he be there, wherever he is from. So he must just be. I think it's because he's never really around. So people feel like they need to bring him back to face things. The paper contacted him again this week after finding out that the woman had written a letter to President Cyril Ramaphosa asking him to help her find justice, as the man had managed to evade the law over the past few months. He told Sunday World that he has just been indisposed and that he was not on the run. Who said, I'm running away from the police? At one point I was in Cape Town and in another point I was involved in an accident. Even now I'm in Cape Town attending an ANC meeting, he told the publication. He also allegedly told the paper he had met with the police at the station before changing his story and stating that the meeting happened at a place the police told him to go, which was not the police station. Limpopo police have denied this and state they are still looking for him. They had to issue a warrant for his arrest after going to his Johannesburg office and not finding him there. He has reportedly not shown up for work over the past months. The presidency has referred all queries to this matter to the ANC, who have yet to comment, and Mahashule is on another mission, and Zuma is on another mission, and Ramaphosa is on another mission, and the ANC is on another mission. So yeah, those are the headlines for today. It's just gone 12:29. Malebu Pastor,
What did he do?
assault. Like he told, who's Mtumbi first of all? Do you know who's? I think I've heard. Isn't Mtumbi part of the commission inquiry, state inquiry?
Oh, so her life is in danger now.
No, this guy lied to this girl and said, I'm taking you to a banyana or
What did he do? Yeah, guy.
They promised her that they're going to take her to meet this Mtumbi lady, and it so happened.
Faith Mtumbi.
Yes. What is she?
The former Minister of Public Services and Administration,
Mhm.
and also former Minister of Communications of South Africa. Reshuffled.
Yeah, she was at the state capture. I remember her
Yeah.
name. Okay, so she was excited. She thought she was going to meet somebody big, and it so happened that she was just going to go to the bush for another kind of meeting. It's just gone 12:30. It's time to cross over to the headlines. It is the lunchtime movement. When we come back, it is Motivation Monday. Keep it locked. It is Polokwane's only talk radio station.
Some which of us can subscribe.
So but we're not live on YouTube now.
We are. We have.
It's just in the headlines this hour. Masha represents Limpopo at Miss Legal South Africa. And trial for alleged killing moms to start in May. Catch the next bulletin at 2 o'clock on Nation FM.
Can they see
Spaghetti, the whole spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
the entire spaghetti? Thank God it was short though.
Man, I want to go share with you again. You can play it now. It's so motivational.
I'll stop by the store immediately after the show.
Not the way, just from the journey. It's a journey, no? Did I send it to you in our group or in business group?
No, I get like live. I can't play. You can use your phone.
I don't have it on my phone.
Go on YouTube and then search it.
Okay.
It's like YouTube.
The keyboard. I saw the link. I want to. Can you make it the link? Okay,
Hi. Hey, champ. What?
didn't I send the link?
Hello. How are you, my level?
Single link. Oh, I didn't.
Are you good? What's on PCS, champ?
I know you did.
Yeah.
I thought I did it.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Oh, no.
This was the thing. Mutumbi on the spot.
No, it's cool. How are you? Are you good?
I'm very
Let's put this on flat move. Let's cut on your
Second menu from deliciously prepared burgers, rolls, sandwiches to seafood platters and
What about your video guy?
No, I'm not. I have no shame.
video price details.
Wow, who bought me sandals?
This is for my boy.
Oh, you bought me sandals.
This has sport. And that's what I didn't.
How was the weekend, guys?
It was lit.
It was late. Oh, wow.
Yes.
What
And
went
I don't know them, but I just played this one with the hand. It's interesting.
I'll be like, no.
Yeah, with the hand. Oh, it's just a phone. It's probably not. That's all you hear music.
Yeah.
What did you do on the weekend? I was speaking TUT. No, not yet. Can I give you the phone, champ?
Wait.
Yeah, move.
And how many received?
It was great. I've got a video of.
That's your young.
It's like before. You know.
I think that the fact that you're young is very
Oh, yeah, it makes it more easier. Let's check the video.
Oh, Munya, that's coming.
Yeah, move.
I'm Tommy Mish, and I wish I started it like.
In the beginning.
Did you stop?
Is it rap, R&B, or guitar?
That's the Chandra.
It's what?
The Kalbi.
Oh. Oh, so it's
I was writing to this on the weekend.
what do
You
you
wanna?
What don't I do?
How many were there?
And I'm dancing to the group.
I can be sure why you're looking forward to that guy. Yeah.
And you're gonna pay a love.
Why me?
You.
I hope you watch
You're
it because
on
I'll
the
send you those links that you can get
I
access.
can wanted to do one, but I took it. I'll watch them.
Throw some
Ew.
bar. Throw some bar.
Yeah, I'll be man. Do it.
I don't perform, guys. But
Arre, vale.
You said you were writing to
Yeah.
I write, but I don't perform.
You're not performing.
Okay, yes.
You're not performing.
You rehearse it.
I have audiences.
Okay, let it be an exclusive for the
No,
YouTube
no.
channel members.
Hey, when, hey.
Hey, exclusive.
Hey.
Exclusive, my sister.
But I write films. Let's start there. I write like for the mic. I think I escaped that one.
No.
Yes, I did.
No.
No, not that. Like I did. This one says cut it.
I'm
He's enjoying it. There's no radio outside.
You're missing with that. Well, we have to have the privilege of hearing you live.
No, I usually base a short film on a song. That's like my first short film was based on Vibange. Vibange is Asa, you know Asa, that Nigerian
Oh
musician.
yeah.
So throughout the whole writing process, I was listening to that song. So a specific emotion of a song inspires me to write the whole thing. So I don't really write songs, even though what I